I've said it before and I will say it again. Good guys can be hot too. Good guys can be cute too. Good guys can be rich and smart and everything else you could ever want. They're not mutually exclusive, but society tries to tell us that it's either one or the other. Otherwise, we have unrealistic expectations. So let's talk about it.
I saw him first.
Hi everyone, my name is Angie. Welcome back to I Saw Him First podcast. And if you're new here, hi and welcome. Right, today's podcast is going to be a little bit of a rant, but also a bit of a go chat and just me expressing my opinions and my views on this topic. I've noticed that a lot of people, both men and women, they try to tell women that we can't have it all, right? And I'm not going to stand here and say, yeah, you can have every single thing on your list. But I think you can have most of it. 60% is not enough. 70% is not enough. I'm going to optimize the shit out of my life. Okay, I don't know about you, but I don't want mediocre. I want the best of the best. And that's what I'm always going to advocate for on this podcast. No, you don't have to settle. You don't have to just take what you can get. No, you don't, okay? Contrary to people's beliefs, you can actually have exactly what you want. Maybe you're going to have to wait a little bit. Maybe you won't have it today or tomorrow or next year. Maybe you will be single for a little bit longer or maybe a lot longer. But at the end of the day, you're the one who has to deal with whoever you end up with. You're the one who has to live with whoever you end up with. You're the one who is going to spend the most time with this person that you're choosing. Literally, your partner is going to be single-handedly one of the best or the worst decisions of your life. Because say you live to 70. Let's say on average you live to 70. Most people get married in their 30s nowadays, I think. So you're basically spending up to 2/3 of your life with this person. Ideally, say you live really long, you might spend even more than 2/3 of your life with this person. Don't you want it to be someone that you're happy with? Why would you want to compromise on that? Why would you want to compromise on 70% of your life? The quality of our lives is determined by the quality of our relationships. And that means mostly your personal relationships, like your husband, your wife, your kids. Those are one of the most important relationships in your life. Forget about all those people, those naysayers that are trying to tell you that you're too picky. If you know yourself that your expectations are high, if you're saying 6-pack, 6 figures, 6-inch dunk, whatever it is, also whatever, all the sixes that people like to say, if you are very rigid on that, then I think it just goes without saying that perhaps you're being unrealistic. But if the things that you value are things like financial stability, which a lot of people like to tell women off about, but never will I compromise on that, right? Things like just competence, just a man that's smart and know what he's doing, has a plan for his future. And a lot of the times, jobs and, financial stability, they're a measure of competence. I like a competent man. And no, that doesn't make me picky. Things like how kind they are, things like how much they take care of you, things that just go without saying. Even superficial things like height and how physically fit they are. That's attraction. So you're basically trying to tell me I shouldn't be attracted to my man, because that's what I keep hearing. I know that I'm single because I'm picky. I don't even need to. I'm not going to deny that. I know that perhaps I could compromise a little bit more on what I want. But do I want to do that? No. And the thing is, I have tried. I recently went out with someone that I just didn't feel like it really met my little tick boxes. It didn't really fit the mold. But I wanted to be surprised, and I also want to be a bit more flexible. So I went out with him. I gave him a chance. Guess what? I had a great time. I went on 2 dates and I actually had a lovely time. This guy is a great guy. But he lied about something on his profile, his height. And when I met him, I knew it wasn't the 6 foot it claimed to be on his profile. But did I go on a second date? I did. Why? Because I laughed a lot on the first date. I had a good time. So even though I have this crazy height fetish, at this point it is a fetish. At this point it is a bit of a fetish. It's something that I just can't waver on, right? It's just, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's innate. It's biology. I just love a tall man. And I still give him another chance because I had a lovely time again. He's a really nice guy. But as the second date went on and I stood next to this guy, it was hard for me to be really attracted to him because why? I've compromised on something that I know is really important to me. And I really want to talk about that. It's okay to compromise. It's okay to compromise on the things that perhaps you don't feel too strongly about. But the things that you know deep down in your heart are really, really important to you. If you want someone who is a Christian, but you're dating someone who is atheist or Muslim or a different religion, maybe Jewish, then you're compromising on something huge. You're compromising on something that will come back to bite you in the ass. You're compromising on something that at the end of the day will just leave you feeling dissatisfied. Like you just know at the end it wouldn't work out. It just wouldn't. Because what you're compromising on is too important. It's too big to you. And yeah, you might say, why do women care so much about height? Why is height so important to me? It is. It just is. Why do you want a pretty woman? As a man, why do you want a pretty woman? If you have me, a pretty woman, on your arms, why can't I have a tall man next to me? For instance, if you say you want a man who has money, society will tell you you're a gold digger. They will tell you, oh, there are other things to care about. Why? Why can't I have both? Why can't I have a man who is smart, who is rich, who is tall, and is a nice person? Why does it have to be either or? I am smart and pretty and nice and financially stable. I'm not asking for anything that is so much more than I am. I'm asking for exactly what I am, and maybe even more, because #apurgamy. I want a high value man. So I really hate it when society tries to tell us that it has to be one or the other. Guess what? I almost went on a third date with this guy because in my head I was thinking, oh, he's a nice guy, but he is a nice guy. But he's not my nice guy. He's not the guy that I want. Why do I have to be with him just because he's a nice person? Being a nice person alone does not make you the right person. There are a lot of nice people in the world. Does that mean you should date every nice person? Besides the height, there was something else I couldn't waver on. The career that is chosen is not something that I saw myself being a part of. You mentioned at one point that you wanted to be in the Army Reserve. I'm sorry, I don't want a man that's going to be away from home for long periods of time. I don't want a man that I have to worry about that is going to be shot if he ever got to the front line. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I told him I respect your job. I love a man that cares about what he does. He is a policeman, and I love a guy in uniform, first of all. So the job alone wasn't a deal breaker, but it was just the future aspirations, the future goals, the future career path that it was going to go on. It just isn't for me. So that was the second strike. And I thought to myself, okay, it's been 2 dates and there are already 2 strikes. If I go on a third date, I'm making myself more invested in this person. He's someone that I can like. He's someone that I can see myself falling in love with. So I really, really had to think about this. And when you think about all the noise and when you're distracted by all the noise that society tries to tell you that, oh, as long as he's a good man, this man is a good man that I think will be good to me, at least from the impressions I've gotten. It seemed like a lovely person. I think I've said that 5 different times or 6 times already. But I had to stop myself. Because why? It does not fit the package. It doesn't fit the mold. And that's the lesson I want to tell you today. I think as women, we're always like, oh, but a bird in hand is worth 2 in the bush. I don't know if that's the saying, but basically, just because you have something good in your hand right now, doesn't mean you should be scared to trade it for something better. You shouldn't be scared to trade good for better. If you feel like it's not the right person, if you're dating someone right now that, yeah, maybe they tick off 2 boxes, but how about the other 8? Are you being smart about your choices? The things that are really important to you? Think about it. You might have someone right now that, yeah, okay, it takes 5, but 5 out of 10, is that really a good bargain? Now, if you're with someone that has 8 out of 10, right? And those 8 are the most important to you. But then you're looking at the other 2 and you're like, oof, should I just optimize and let this guy go? And then, just so I can get a 10 out of 10, then girl, be realistic, right? So I'm not trying to tell you that you shouldn't ever be flexible about, the things on your list. No. But what I'm trying to tell you is that don't listen to naysayers. Don't listen to people. I've heard it so many times. Oh, people have told me so many times. Oh, Angie, but don't you think, I heard recently, don't you think you're going to wait for a long time? Though I was like, yeah, I know. Don't you think you're being too picky? I do. I know these things, but these are things that are important to me. I wholeheartedly believe that the right person is out there. I wholeheartedly believe that I'm not asking for too much, and that yes, I can have someone who fits my mold, and maybe I would have to compromise, but they wouldn't be on the important things. Maybe I would have to compromise on location. I always don't like to date someone far away from me, but maybe I would have to travel an hour and a half to meet my man. Maybe that is something I can compromise on. That is a very realistic compromise to make. But no, I'm not going to compromise on kindness, on height. Yes, height. It's shallow, but who cares? If he's getting a beautiful woman, then you should get the height. You should get a tall man too. I'm not going to compromise on financial stability, because if you're getting a woman who's working hard and trying to be successful and doing the best that she can in this world with what she's got, then you deserve the same thing too. I'm not going to compromise on a man that cares deeply about me, that shows affection in every way that I want, because that's who I am too. Oh, if I like you, will I take care of you so much, right? So those important things, I'm not going to compromise on a man who is just as common sense, as emotional intelligence, just takes initiative. Those are important things. I don't want a man to have to tell everything, right? Of course, you can teach someone how to love you, but you also don't want someone that you have to train like he's a dog. No, right? So that is the point of this podcast. I really cannot stand it when people try and tell women to stop being be picky. Be picky, especially if you're young and you've got all the time in the world. I'm only 25. And as much as I always say, oh, time is running, I'm almost 30. So what? A lot of people find love in their 30s. I would rather be with the right person. You should want the right person, as opposed to someone that, for now you stay with, and then down the line, it's so hard to leave them because now you've built your whole life around them. Perhaps you've married them, perhaps you've had kids with them, or maybe you're just in a long-ass relationship, maybe 5 years deep, and now it's so bloody hard to leave. If I kept on dating this guy, like I said, I really could see myself being with him. It was so proactive, the things that I really wanted, like just making a date. I don't have to tell you that I want to go on another date. You're asking, do you want to go on another date? Are you free this time? Planning the dates, telling me where we're meeting. And he paid for the first and the second. So he really, again, I have to give him credit where it's due. Great guy. Right? But you don't have to choose someone. You don't have to be with someone just because they're a great guy. You are a great person. Have you not been broken up with before? Exactly. Exactly. Someone's broken up with you before in all of your goodness. Look at how great you are, but you've still been dumped. So don't say because someone is good or has some good traits, or maybe they have a lot of good traits, but are they the traits that you care about? Some people might not care about height. Some people do not care. They will date as long as the guy is like an inch taller than them. They're happy to date them. So it's not a big deal that you have all these preferences. There will be enough people out there to date the people that you reject, and quote. And it's not rejection. You're actually just giving them back out into the street for someone else to love them. So that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. And if you did, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and listen to a lot of my other podcasts. Catch up if you haven't. All right. I'll see you guys again next week. Bye-bye.